Ankita, and today I'll be talking about homes and households in medieval times. With my group, Avinash, Tim, Pooja, and Rishabh, we'll be comparing medieval times houses and present day houses.
The homes of merchants were often located on top of their shops, like today's apartments. Their houses were made of wood and sometimes stone, and often leaned to the streets, causing the streets to be very, very shady. They suffered many problems, like heat and pests. The heat, even for wealthier people, wasn't available, and pests such as bedbugs and lice would cause disease and were pests. The lamps could barely provide them with any light because they weren't wealthy enough, and they couldn't afford to send their children for education, since only the wealthy could. Peasants, though, were even worse. They could only live in one to two room homes, and their houses were almost always wooden and even more infested than merchants. They were also very easily demolished, and they had to work for a lord or a higher person, and sometimes could not leave the land.
Us knights are average in the society. We live in partial luxurious homes and are well paid and serve our lords. We live in houses that are relatively big and they have around 4 to 5 rooms. There are also 1,500 square feet. Unlike their merchants, ours are strong. They are made of bricks and good quality architecture. We had more heat than those feeble peasants and those lowly merchants. We can afford more lamps and oil to help us. Bugs are still a problem though. We get around 20 a day, and even for a night, it is annoying. We live in a sense of style and have a few tapestries hung on our wall. As for them, merchants, they have no style. My wife takes care of the children and does the house duties. We cannot send them to school, but we can afford books for our children to learn. And plus, our children are trained to become strong, like a knight.
Us lords are too rich to respect those pathetic soldiers. We are very rich and can afford fancy architecture in our homes. We have lights all over the house and decorated furniture. We have servants to come and take care of any problems we have, such as pests. Our manors are huge, the size of a present-day mansion. We have an outhouse for knights in emergencies to go and fight if the monarch needed them. Our houses are so strong that they are impossible to penetrate. I have no respect for those idiotic merchants or those weakling peasants. Bowing down to me is a privilege they get. My husband, the great Lord Charles IV, is with the army right now doing his business. I sent my kids off to school so they can learn Latin, geometry, grammar, and whatever else they learn in the school. My servants take care of all the household work for us so I can have leisure time with my friends and my husband when he is not at war.
Monarchs those days have castles that are around 10 times the size of present-day mansions. My castle has everything I could possibly need. I have pest servants, food servants, an army of guards, and thousands of loyal knights. Our castles are made of the best possible architecture you can imagine. Royal baths, fountains, arcs, and many amazing pictures hung on the wall. Oh, life is perfect. My castle is made of the strongest material we can find these days, and it is unbreakable, and if anyone dares try to penetrate, they will be stopped by thousands of loyal soldiers. We have a heat during the winter, though, as it will be very cold even for us. We had lamps lit all over the house, and I will cover myself in the finest quality wool. My wife relaxes, take rest, and send our children to school. The best one, obviously. Ah.
Nuns are very humble people. They become nuns for many reasons. They're considered nomads. They live in a place for nuns called a nunnery, which is a medieval home for them nuns. Their nunneries, also called abbeys, have a center, which everything is grouped around, called a cloister. The things that are grouped around the cloister are the church, a refectory, a dining room, a kitchen, and a buttery near them. They also have a sleeping quarters where they sleep. They have a school, a hospital, and a guest house. They also have their own farming system. They have barns, bakeries, laundry, workshops, and storerooms. They love the feel of nature. For this reason, they have many gardens. Vegetable gardens, orchards, grain fields, and often a mill. The nunneries used to be very private. High walls surrounded the nunnery. They owned no property, never marry, and always obey their leaders.
For watching our presentation.